Nathan Caldwell, a 39-year-old CEO of Caldwell Innovations, a Miami-based tech firm specializing in financial software, had built a reputation as a charismatic but ruthless businessman. His company, valued at $1.2 billion, provided cutting-edge solutions for banks and investment firms. Caldwell, raised in a middle-class Florida family, climbed the corporate ladder through sharp deals and strategic alliances, often prioritizing profit over ethics. His personal life, however, was marked by volatility, particularly his relationship with his ex-girlfriend, Alicia Harper, a 35-year-old data analyst and whistleblower. Alicia Harper had dated Caldwell for 3 years in their late 20s, during the early days of his startup. Their breakup was bitter, with Caldwell accusing Harper of holding him back professionally. Harper, who had worked at Caldwell Innovations as a lead analyst, left the company after discovering irregularities in its financial reporting. She reported her findings to the board, but Caldwell's influence led to her dismissal, branding her as disgruntled. Harper relocated to Washington, D.C., taking a job with a cybersecurity firm while quietly gathering evidence of Caldwell's misconduct. Caldwell's wedding to Sophia Reyes, a 30-year-old socialite and daughter of a prominent real estate developer, was planned as the event of the year. Held at a luxury beachfront venue in Miami, the guest list included 400 of the city's elite, CEOs, politicians, and influencers. Invitations were sent 6 months in advance, and Caldwell personally ensured Harper received one, accompanied by a handwritten note. "Come see what you missed out on." Harper, aware of his intent to gloat, initially declined but reconsidered after consulting with colleagues who had ties to federal authorities. In the months leading up to the wedding, Harper had been working with the FBI's white-collar crime unit. Her evidence, collected over years, included emails, financial records, and encrypted files detailing Caldwell's involvement in a money laundering scheme. His company had been funneling illicit funds through offshore accounts for a select group of clients, a practice Harper uncovered during her tenure. She provided the FBI with documentation showing Caldwell's direct authorization of these transactions, bypassing regulatory oversight. The FBI, building a case for over a year, planned to arrest Caldwell but needed concrete proof tying him to the operations. The wedding day arrived, and Caldwell was in high spirits, mingling with guests and boasting about his company's latest contracts. Harper's RSVP had confirmed her attendance, and Caldwell anticipated a moment to publicly overshadow her. He had instructed staff to seat her prominently, ensuring she'd witness his triumph. Harper, however, had coordinated with the FBI, who saw the high-profile event as an opportunity to execute their plan discreetly. As the reception began, Harper entered the venue accompanied by 3 FBI agents in plain clothes. She approached Caldwell during a toast, interrupting him to announce that she had something to share. Before he could react, the lead agent, Special Agent Michael Torres, stepped forward, presenting a warrant for Caldwell's arrest on charges of money laundering, wire fraud, and tax evasion. The room fell silent as agents handcuffed Caldwell, reading him his rights. Guests, stunned, recorded the scene on their phones, and clips quickly spread online. Caldwell's bride, Sophia, was unaware of his illegal activities. She confronted Harper, demanding an explanation. Harper calmly presented a flash drive containing key evidence, which she handed to Torres. The drive included transaction logs and communications implicating Caldwell in a $50 million scheme. The FBI escorted Caldwell to a waiting vehicle, while Harper remained to answer questions from shocked guests. She explained her role as a whistleblower, emphasizing that her actions were driven by justice, not revenge. The arrest made national headlines within hours. The Miami Herald published a detailed account, citing Harper's evidence in the FBI's year-long investigation. Social media platforms buzzed with reactions, with hashtag Caldwell Arrest trending on Twitter. Caldwell Innovation stock plummeted 30% overnight, prompting the board to suspend operations pending a review. Sophia filed for an annulment, citing fraud, and distanced herself from Caldwell's legal troubles. Harper faced intense scrutiny, but stood firm. She granted interviews to CNN and the Wall Street Journal, detailing her journey from employee to whistleblower. Her cybersecurity firm praised her integrity, promoting her to a senior role. She used the platform to advocate for stronger protections for whistleblowers, speaking at conferences and testifying before a Senate Committee on Financial Oversight. Caldwell, detained awaiting trial, hired a top-tier legal team but faced overwhelming evidence. Prosecutors revealed that Harper's files included encrypted emails he believed were deleted, recovered through forensic analysis. The case expanded to include 3 of Caldwell's executives, who turned state's evidence for reduced sentences. Caldwell pleaded guilty to lesser charges, receiving an 8-year sentence and a $10 million fine. His company was sold to a competitor, with proceeds used to settle lawsuits from defrauded clients. The wedding guests, many of whom were business associates, faced their own fallout. Several were investigated for ties to the laundering scheme, though most were cleared. The event venue issued a statement distancing itself from Caldwell, and the wedding planner refunded Sophia's family. Harper received threats from Caldwell's supporters, but was provided FBI protection until the trial concluded. Community response was polarized. Some admired Harper's courage, while others viewed her as opportunistic. A local advocacy group honored her with a civic award, and she donated the prize money to a nonprofit supporting women in tech. Harper's family, initially unaware of her whistleblowing, rallied behind her, with her mother attending the trial for moral support. The trial, lasting 6 months, revealed the extent of Caldwell's operations. Prosecutors presented evidence of over 200 illegal transactions, facilitated through Caldwell Innovations software. Harper testified, detailing how she uncovered the scheme and preserved evidence despite personal risks. Her testimony, corroborated by forensic accountants, was pivotal in securing convictions. Post-trial, Harper launched a foundation, Truth in Tech, to educate companies on ethical practices. She partnered with universities, developing curricula on corporate accountability. Caldwell, from prison, issued a public apology, admitting his greed and expressing regret for targeting Harper. She acknowledged the apology, but focused on her mission. Miami's business community underwent changes. Firms implemented stricter compliance protocols, citing Caldwell's case. Harper advised on these reforms, earning respect from former skeptics. Her foundation secured funding from tech giants, expanding its reach to international markets. Sophia rebuilt her life, starting a charity for fraud victims. She and Harper met privately, forming a mutual respect. Sophia's family distanced themselves from Caldwell's legacy, selling assets tied to his name. The story inspired a Netflix documentary, Whistleblower's Wedding, which detailed Harper's journey and the FBI's operation. The film won awards, amplifying her message. Harper's speeches at tech conferences drew thousands, emphasizing transparency in finance. Caldwell's former employees faced job losses, but were supported by Harper's Foundation, which offered retraining programs. Several became advocates for ethical tech, crediting her influence. The company's software was overhauled, removing vulnerabilities exploited in the scheme. Harper's personal life stabilized. She married a fellow analyst, and they adopted a child. Her family attended Caldwell's sentencing, marking closure. She continued consulting, balancing work with advocacy. The incident's ripple effects included new federal regulations on financial software. Harper's testimony shaped these laws, mandating audits for high-risk platforms. Her foundation trained regulators, ensuring enforcement. Miami hosted an annual ethics summit, with Harper as a keynote speaker. Attendees included policymakers and CEOs, discussing corporate responsibility. Her children's book on courage, inspired by the event, became a classroom staple. Caldwell's prison term included community service, teaching inmates about financial literacy. He maintained a low profile, avoiding media. Harper's Foundation indirectly supported his rehabilitation efforts, focusing on systemic change. The wedding venue became a hub for ethics events, hosting Harper's workshops. Its owners credited her for raising their profile. Guests from the wedding formed a network, advocating for transparency in their industries. Harper's firm promoted her to Chief Compliance Officer, leveraging her expertise. She mentored young women, emphasizing resilience. Her family's pride grew, with her siblings joining her foundation's board. The story's 10th anniversary saw a citywide celebration of whistleblower protections. Harper unveiled a scholarship for aspiring analysts funded by her speaking fees. The event, covered by Forbes, highlighted her legacy. Caldwell's release approached, with parole conditions requiring continued service. He expressed interest in tech ethics, citing Harper's influence. She responded neutrally,